Yeah, you guys remember that? $100 from eBay. Let's look at it. There was a problem right off the bat, and the problem continued to get worse and worse, and I am gonna hope that that light does not go all the way out. Oh, it started. Okay. This is 2006, high RPM, 800 probably. I think it has batshit crazy tuning in it. So right now what I want to do is unplug the ICP sensor and see if it jumps down to normal. If it does, that will tell us that the ICP sensor is the fault. No dice. Okay, right there, the ICP sensor is actually helping us from the stuck IPR valve. The high pressure oil pump pumps 100% all the time. So this has to be an IPR valve issue. I guess that works pretty good if we want to get a little bit of power in the batteries. Oh, you're jumping around. Actually, while it's running, let's just do this. All right, this is clean cut 6 build. Right up there. Watch these injectors. That is a reman Ford injector with a $110 eBay injector harness. Okay, so that should be just about all that you want to see right there. That means shut this truck off even that it's at high RPM. Because I do not want to plug back in the ICP sensor while everything is running and functioning. You can unplug it, but I do not want to plug it back in that way. I want to shut the truck off before we return it to normal. Massive power issues with this wire right here. Maybe now it will idle back down because I didn't even want to put it into gear running that high. Ooh, that's normal. Wouldn't that be funny if it was an ICP connection? Causing it to be haywire? Now that very well could be the high idle, but fact of the matter is we have horrible injector harness connections. Let's pull it in, and right now we're gonna go ahead and renege on our idea of that $120 injector harness. I am not a fan, not an advocate. Take that out in the backyard and let's beat the shit out of ourselves with it. We could hook the computer up, but quite frankly, that injector harness is such a smoking gun. And there's a little bit more to the story. Okay, right here on my box, I have got a Ford IPR valve. I guess me and Julie was out on a parts run, we was gone. And a standard IPR valve got put in clean cut 6.0 build. Damn. That raises two concerns. There is a funky IPR valve in there right now. It's a standard motor products. It's the most generic you can possibly find on the planet. I am gonna account that to being the 900 RPM. Okay, maybe it's just throwing too much oil in there. But that does not explain the last video up there. Why the injector is broke in half, because if it was from high pressure oil, excessive high pressure oil, then that was with a different IPR valve. Because the whole running that I have seen it, that we made the last video on this truck, was with the standard motor products IPR valve. But the IPR valve that broke the truck says too much oil pressure. Right now, put a Ford IPR valve in it and put the original injector harness back on. Because remember, we just threw the injector harness on, honestly, because we was testing out that $100 harness. It could be a lot harder to put on, could be a lot easier to put on. But we're gonna go ahead and put that back on and put the Ford IPR valve in. And we're gonna see what the heck happens. And if it's not happy at this point, then we'll go back to a full-fledged IAC. All right, that is the standard motor products injector pressure regulator. The screen's still on it, it looks funky. It's pretty shiny, but at least it stayed. Let's put the Ford one in, and if this thing idles like normal, then that is a nasty piece of crap. All right, so it's never a bad thing to go ahead and stick your phone down in there, because I can't look all the way down, and then we'll see if, make sure there is no screen. Nope, no screen. My phone is literally laying in the valley of the engine, but it's worth it to take a quick look. Now let's see if I can get it out of there. Yep, it was way down in there, upside down. Once again, let's go out in the backyard and beat the shit out of ourselves with this, and I'll grab the one that was on the truck originally. All right, that is all done. I just have this. I spent a little while cutting it up, cutting it off. Oh my God. What am I supposed to do with that? Jesus. How many of you guys think that we need the batteries hooked up? I do think we do. Damn it. Chatter stopped, here we go. Okay, good RPM. Let's watch it for a minute. Do not want it jumping up. Feels smooth. I don't need the computer right now. You can tell. If it's not happy, you can tell. So we don't need to hook up the computer just to hook it up. Start this thing up, see how she acts, see if she's happy. Honestly, it sounds very good. Real good. We'll have to watch this wire, see if it gets hot. I just put a different lug on it of what we had here in the building. We just need to get an entire cable from battery to battery. We'll just keep an eye on it for it to get warm. I took all that nasty crap out and put a whole new lug on it. That sounds pretty good right now. Let's get it down the road. Probably about 150, 160 degrees. Hasn't given me so much as a hiccup at all and been rock solid on the idle. Back here in the back, he has got batshit crazy tuning, and I'm gonna put the hot tune back on it. Let's do it right now. Saving stock data. Let's get rid of that and put in something that's gonna burn all his tires off and blow his injectors in half. Brand, I think they're Mishimoto CAC tubes, both sides, and he has had compulsive issues blowing off CAC boots. This also has the BD diesel, that screaming turbo, the $2,000 turbo. It has that on it too, and it'll build 30 pounds in a quick minute, and they've had a big problem with this hot tune blowing the boots off. So let's just see if that happens to us. He actually quit calling us when he was blowing him because these are actually good tubes. They hold on pretty well. And I know there's a point where somebody is just laying the heck out of it. They're on the floor, they're beating it, they're freaking smiling ear to ear, and then the CAC boot blows off. Well, you're not going to call the shop when you know that you have been literally beating the crap out of it. And you're not going to call and be like, hey, my boot fell off, because we're going to call them on that. We're almost done. There you go, downloading tune. Let's go, 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 go. Now, there is a point on these ficm tunes, because this has that Grizzly ficm in it with Atlas 40, and it's got this hot PCM tune. You're not going to get all that power. There's only so much that you can squeeze out of by stacking the ficm tune with the PCM tune. There's overlap, and you're not going to put 40 and then 100 and then have 140. Or however you want to do it. You're not going to get it all. You can't just add it up with your calculator as you bolt stuff onto the truck and add them all together. That doesn't work like that. Let's just see if we can't kill this transmission too. All right, there you go. Here we go. Yeah, that is some transmission killing stuff right there. I don't even like that, not one bit at all. I was about 3/4 of the way in the throttle. I was not all the way. That's, well, I've always said it for almost decades now that you're gonna rip the transmission out long before you're gonna break the engine, and it holds pretty true. So now I'm just gonna drive it a little bit and see if I can't ease into the pedal and drive this thing so that the transmission is happy. Oh no. No, I am not driving it with this tuning. Honestly, I don't like it at all. Once we get it into gear. Oh my goodness. Whoa, Nelly. It runs really, really good. By All right, it might be a little hot on the transmission and a little beating on stuff, but as far as running, seems absolutely flawless. So as we're sitting here right now, I guess you can hang out and wait for a transmission video on Clean Cut 6.0 build, but under the hood, we can actually put the wind deflector back on. Remember I said a long time ago, don't put that back on because you might be taking it back off. I did not put it back on because we weren't done. Well, now it's all done. Probably they'll drive it around a little bit more here and get this transmission to do a little learning, hopefully, and let this thing go. We're gonna work on Ron's now. Let's get it on. Got the Volvo out, taking the wave runners down to the lake. Clean Cut sitting over there, all done. Taking off. I can't believe my blood shot. Every now and then we get this big old truck out.